All right. Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Please let me know how my audio levels are. I apologize for the Hare situation. And also, you'll notice that we're in a different scene, but there's no way that I am moving this printer back to the main stage. So this is going to be our setup for today, and this is where the printer lives. Before we get started, I do need to, a couple times throughout the stream, thank this video's sponsor, which is going to be PCBWay. Someone was actually in the chat just now, I think Old Time Engineer, and was saying that he can't print ABS or maybe can't print ABS. Well, for that, you can check out this video's sponsor, which is PCBWay. They can actually print ABS for you, but not only can they do that, they can make the PCBs for you. They can machine aluminum for you. If you want to change out the gear wheel like I have to have it be a machined aluminum ADT gear wheel, they can machine aluminum for you. They can machine titanium for you. They can 3D print metal for you. In fact, I have some 3D printed metal from PCBWay right now. So I really appreciate, here's 3D printed metal from PCBWay. I really appreciate PCBWay sponsoring the stream because streams unfortunately don't pay the bills. And so it's really great to be able to do this, help the community, and PCBWay covers. So hit the link in the description, guys, for $5 off your first order. Now, wow, the chats are going much faster than I can keep up, so I apologize if I don't keep up with you guys. Let's talk about what we're going to try and get done in this video, and then I'm going to catch you up to where we've been here, because the idea of this video is to create a resource for people who maybe can't search through the whole Discord, maybe need a video going through. I can't tell you how many comments on my last video were like, thank you for making a video that I can just watch and understand how this thing works without having to read the wikis. I get it. It can be really overwhelming. There's a lot of very, very smart people designing this project. And for us mere mortals, it can be overwhelming. So I get it. At the same time, Mark from the ERCF Discord brought up, and he's absolutely right, that it wouldn't make sense to just have all these answers be on a live stream. So simultaneously, what we're going to do is I'm going to be posting the problems on the Discord, which if you aren't on the Discord, consider getting on there. I'm going to be posting the questions on ERCF Questions. Thank you, Donald Kirby, for subscribing. And then Mark or any one of many, many super helpful people on the ERCF Questions Discord channel are going to answer the question there. I'm then going to demonstrate what they say, and then they can edit their answer and put the timestamp of when I'm actually doing it. So what we're doing is we're creating a searchable kind of database of problems or I'll say challenges that people will encounter as they go through the ERCF process, and tutorial videos, hopefully. It's not going to be as perfect as a polished tutorial video, but live, off-the-cuff tutorial videos of how to solve that problem. Now, in order to, okay, no worries. In order to make this as helpful as possible, I want to catch you guys up with where we've been and where we're going. And I guess since we're not actually printing any ABS right now, I can bring this down so you guys can see inside the machine. Now, I've already done a lot since the last video, but I want to kind of try and make this a valuable resource. So I apologize if you just tuned in to see me futz with things. Let's take this door off too. But let me explain how we got to where we are. Built the entire ERCF. There's 18 hours of live streams. I also upgraded it with, you can see some of these cool little printed upgrades. So I did, there's here, you can't really see it, but there's like a 360-degree rotating pivot. And I built these angled arms so that, as you can see here, the ERCF is angled and I can kind of get under it and load it. I'm not sure that's the final place that it's going to be, but for now, it's good. I then went through, and this is the really important part, we should timestamp this. I went through and started with the Happy Hare wiki. Now let me get that up on the screen here and show you all. Now, don't be overwhelmed by this. I mean, you will be overwhelmed. This looks like it's a wiki, but it's kind of a wiki. It's kind of a tutorial. It's a ton of information. It's super overwhelming. You need to kind of start at, I mean, you should read the whole thing. I'll admit I did not. I've been so focused on getting content out and creating content. about this thing that I haven't given it I've been kind of a princess about it and just asking for help a lot. Fortunately, that's one of the things it talks about, is how to get help, and that the Discord community is very lively. That is why we're going to be posting all these answers on the Discord community. Thank you. Wow, someone just became a member. Thank you. I really appreciate you supporting the channel. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Tuna Fish. Okay. What is the time here? 6:37. Let me continue on my tirade. You need to start at Happy Hare install, and although this is a wiki, it does give you some step-by-step stuff. So if you're in an overwhelmed place, I had a lot of people reach out to me privately and say, hey, I've already built the thing. I'm overwhelmed by the software. Hope you'll do another live stream. Here we are. This will tell you how to clone the Happy Hare repo, how to do all that. I actually did that on the last live stream. You'll go through the installer. The installer will have a bunch of questions, like what type of MMU are you running? You'll answer that. How many gates? And it will kind of set up everything that you need. Again, we did that on the end of the last live stream, middle towards end of the last live stream. So I'm not going to cover that too much here. From there, again, just catching you guys up what's happened off camera. And by the way, I apologize that I'm sweating and glowing. The AC is very far away and these lights are very, very hot. From there, we got everything installed. You go into hardware configuration. That really is kind of, so the build manual stops and says, you'll continue doing everything else with the software. This is, as I understand it, or in my experience, this is where the manual continues. And you go, you installed, obviously you did the install. This is where you're going to continue configuring things. So you kind of just have to go through and do all the things that it says piece by piece. So you're going to query the end stops. You're going to check the motor movement and direction. You're going to check the encoder if fitted. It's going to tell you what to do, but unfortunately you do have to read through it. It doesn't have pretty pictures like the build manual does. I'm going to sit because it's probably going to be a long night. Okay? Then you check the other sensors. I think I didn't do this. Oh, no, I did do this. At no point in this does it actually specifically talk about the 2 sensors that you hopefully put in the toolhead, which, by the way, I've done. I've gotten this whole thing working on CAN bus. That's a whole different story. You're then going to check the servo, okay? And then you continue down. Now, there's a lot of different things, even though Happy Hare, and sorry for those of you who are waiting to get into the meat and potatoes, but I want to make this video as valuable as possible, not just kind of answers to my questions, selfishly getting help from the Discord. End stop on the extruder. Okay, I haven't done this, so we're going to have to answer a lot of questions and fix this. What is the next thing that I did? Selector offsets. Okay, so then I went into calibration, okay? And that is, again, you're just continuing down. It is kind of linear. There are some pictures, not a lot. You will calibrate your servo. You'll calibrate the gates and selector offsets, like where things are. That'll just tell it where each one of them is. If you follow this, you're going to be fine, okay? You will then calibrate your servo, and that will be a pain in the butt, especially if you're using the MG90S. It's kind of a weak servo. You have to get it to hit. There's a graphic that'll show right here. Like, you want to get it to go over the hump and get stuck there. I'm having difficulty with this because not each of them is identical exactly. So I've already ordered a much better servo, which is like 1/5 of the cost of the entire ERCF kit. But I'm talking to Fizek about upgrading that. You will then calibrate. Again, just follow along with these steps. As you go, you're learning like all the different commands, test moves. You're calibrating the gear measured. You're doing all this stuff, basically. You'll then calibrate the encoder, which is teaching it like how many spins of that little encoder that I talked about in the video up in here is actually the distance that you think it is, okay? You'll then calibrate the Bowden length. How far is it from A to B? And then, no, we haven't done the first print. We're a long way from the first print. You can then calibrate individual gates because individual gates are going to behave individually. They might slip a little bit more. They might push a little bit more. So there's that. Okay? That's effectively what has happened off camera. I've done a little bit of work to set up the slicer. Gear stepper encoder, Bowden length, yeah, and then calibration commands. So basically where we're at is we're in the middle of section 5 here. So basic operation, console and logging, clipper screen. Currently, clipper screen is telling me the system doesn't meet the requirement minimum Python 3.8, system Python 3.7. I've already upgraded it. I don't think that's where we should start necessarily, but I will put it up to Mark, who is providing ground support, as I call it, as to where we should actually get started and what we should test out. Coming back to kind of the main camera. So I have some of the gates loaded. Actually, right now I have the bypass loaded, so I think we should start by unloading. My goodness, I'm going to be dripping sweat this whole time, huh? So let's fire it up. And we have Happy Hare all installed here. Oh, wow. Thank you, Adrian. Really appreciate you guys becoming members. That's super awesome. It really helps the channel. So thank you. Why don't we heat up the printer? I can show you guys screen share at the same time. So here's a little bit of kind of what Happy Hare looks like. You have all your extruders, T0, T1, all the way to T11 for my 12 colors. And this is just while I'm waiting for Mark to tell me where he feels we should continue. You have all the pre-gate sensors. Some of them say detected even though they don't have filament. So we need to investigate that. And the LEDs are not lined up correctly, and also they're off. Probably a good first step is to heat up and remove the bypass filament. So we're going to do that. My screen is covered up by all the windows associated with the live chat. So where the heck is my extruder? All right, let me just move this over. There we go. It says 250. There's no way it's 250. Okay, yeah. Mark says, maybe best to explain what issues we're currently having. Okay, so current issues. Number 1, clipper screen not working. System doesn't meet the minimum requirement. Maybe I should put this in ERCF chat. Okay, so maybe I shouldn't screen share my personal Discord, and definitely shouldn't screen share that. Quit. Okay, let's go back to here, main camera. Okay. This thing is going full screen all the time. Okay. Hang on, guys. Current issues I'm working on in live stream. System doesn't meet minimum requirement Python for clipper screen, even though I upgraded it. What else? Gates show as having filament, even though some of them do not. LEDs are not synced up correctly. Fizet Tkacha. I'm trying to minimize how much I blast the chat. I think that's probably a good starting point. Haven't tested slicer integration yet. All right, welcome Fede as a subscriber. Okay, let's heat up the printer. I feel like this window that I'm in is no longer active. temperature difference. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, I think I need to open a browser window because Orca sometimes doesn't refresh. Okay. You guys can see here. Oh, that's weird. It's not even loading. The printer's not loading. Let's do a sudo reboot. All right. My gosh, it's hot over here, and the AC just does not get here. Oh, I could get a fan. I could blow a fan on myself. Hang on. I'm going to grab a fan while the printer reboots. You guys can probably still hear me because I'm using a lav mic. So that's nice. All right, let's take this fan, let's put it by the AC, and blast cold air in my general direction. Oh, that's going to be much better. All right, back. Sorry, guys. It was getting really unbearable. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Let's get the printer booted back up. Great. Clipper reports error. MCU config as it is shown. Firmware restart. Let me know, by the way, if you guys hear wind noise from the fan, because I can turn it down. But my God, does that feel good. Okay. I also don't think the camera is auto-focusing correctly. What are you focusing on? Should be fine. All right, Grammy, I'm a big fan. Thank you, QuickMind. All right, cool. So we got the printer booted up. Let's heat it up. Heat it up, heat it up, heat it up. Okay, 250. I'm just gonna, oops, that's 150. 250. Awesome, no wind noise. Okie doke. So, Mark, let me know what camera being a potato, always. I really want to get a new one. Let me know what you think we should work on first. I think maybe it would be good to try and load something into one of the gates and just see how things go. By the way, how about this fancy overhead view that I set up for you guys? Come on. Come on, that deserves a like. Spent like an hour getting all the cameras and lights working for you guys. All right, we should be ready to just retract filament. I guess I could do that with software instead of physically. Let's retract. Great. Great, great, great. This software just blocks everything. Like, I can't see my own screen. Hey, Ivan. Oh, wow, super chat. Thank you. Getting to the meat and potatoes, no veggies. I already had my veggies today, so we're good. All right, let me get this guy out of here. And why don't we try loading him up and just see. I did make some. Vash is now at the top of the leaderboard. And Adrian and Stan and Tuna Fish are now on there too. Awesome. Really appreciate you guys. So I now am going to have to load my printer with a, Giovanni, I already did what changed from last video. I'm going to have to use it's good that I have the 12 because every time I want to change filament, I need a step stool now, which kind of sucks, I'll be honest. I'm not thrilled about that. But when you have 12 colors, I guess the idea, you can see I need to reprint some of this stuff that wasn't done in Polymaker. I'm just going to reprint all those wheels. Anyway, when you have 12 colors, I guess the idea is that you don't load and unload filament each time. Rather, you put in all the colors you think you might use in the next month, and that's it. I also had an idea that I'm going to put like a label on the edge of each one of these Bowden tubes so that I know which one's what, because they can get kind of tangled. Get my head out of the way. So this is the process to load. It's not awesome, but with a step stool, it gets much better. You take the filament. Some of these wheels don't spin very nicely at all. Again, I'm going to reprint them, and I'm going to reprint different sizes of them. So great, that's that. And I've realized I need like 4 spins to do this thing. Yeah, this wheel really doesn't want to spin. I wonder if that will just get better with wear and tear. Or if I should really sand it down. So this is the loading process. Again, not super thrilled about it. It kind of feels like I'm doing something indecent behind the bleachers. But eventually you get there. And we'll just take this around one more time. A lot of resistance. And then we need to get this guy under. Oh, geez. This is a skill. It really is. Come on, little buddy. We take this guy and we shove it in there. Okay? Now, this light is supposed to light up, but it didn't. So that's an issue that we can work on, but I'd rather get the thing working properly first before we deal with cosmetics. I don't see the chat, by the way, so I hope nothing interesting is happening. Turn wheel. I'm going to end up reprinting these wheels soon because I'm breaking them. I have a whole shipment of Polymaker coming this week or next week, and that will be nice. This thing doesn't turn. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there's the filament. It just kind of pronged out. Now, great. Oh, that fan feels so good. Now, I see you guys are kind of answering one another. This thing definitely will not work with bamboo printers. So now we can do MMU home. MMU home. And it homes. Boop, boop, boop. How cool is that? Maybe I want to put this Bowden tube in. Okay. Well, that's not nice that I left screwdrivers for you guys to look at. Okay. And now, which tool did I just load? 5. So let's see how that works. Let me keep my chat with Mark open as well. Okay, so now in order to load, let me show you guys how this looks. You just click, we said it's T5. So if I click T5, it should load. It's going to lift itself up. I don't know why it's doing that, but it lifts itself up. And as we can see, it is currently not gripping the filament. And it says, what does it say? MMU issue detected. So this is one of the challenging things, is each one of these gates or lids has a different kind of tolerance. So MMU servo pause equals up. And then if we do down, you'll see it's probably, yeah, it's getting stuck. Some of them go, some of them don't. It's because the servo didn't go all the way. I can show you guys. If the servo doesn't go all the way, then it's not going to grip the filament. So that's the servo in there. I don't think you guys can see it, but I can move the camera if this angle isn't serving us. But in any case, now let's try and mash it down. Nope. So that's up, that's down. See, each of them seems to be different. They all have a different tolerance or height. Ergo, yeah. And they're telling me in the chat like, oh, it's the Servo brand, and I know it is. I have a new one on order. There we go. That mashed it. That's a proper smash. Now, if we try to load the filament, we said T5. T5. MMU issue detected whilst out of print. MMU gate 5 is empty. Hold on, let me screen share. So this is kind of how it goes, guys. It's going to be a lot of this. Like, you find an issue and you work on diagnosing that issue, and so it's going to be a lot of this. Do I have bearings at each gate or every 3 or so? Bearings. Bearings. Gate check command. Okay, so we need to issue a gate check. MMU. So I guess a gate check command is how you check if they're, hey, look at that, it's extruding. So is that how you kind of reset that it has filament or doesn't have filament? Gate check command. What is this lighter doing here? Tool T5 is enabled. Filament detected, marked available. Sick. White theme in Discord? No, that's not Discord. That, and I shouldn't be showing that, that is Beeper. And yeah, I shouldn't be showing my full screen. Let's see how we fix that. Current application, nope, Safari. Okay, so it looks like we got to recheck some gates. All right, cool. Happy Hare clipper screen, Ivan says. It's much easier. So I wonder, I mean, now that well, we can try loading some more filaments if you guys think. I'm realizing like there's no way I'm going to be able to simultaneously type in ERCF questions. I can try, but unscrewing knobs slightly. Yeah, that worked. That worked. Rebearings, page 60 of the ERCF assembly manual. Can you print a Voron with ASA? Yes, you can. This one is printed with Polymaker Polylite ASA. I guess we can either try to get clipper screen working now, or we can try to load more filaments in more gates and see if the rest of them work. What do you guys think we should do? Okay, do a small test print to see if it even works, and then do the other gates. Fuck it. Let's do it, man. Let's load more PLA, though. I don't see, by the way, is there a way, like, in the printer interface, similar to how I do on Bamboo, to tell it what each tool has? Like a record of what is in each one? Mark says try each gate to make sure it can load. So I think we need to load all the gates. All right, let's load all the gates. I would love to know if there is a way for me to know what filament is in each place. And with that, I'm going up. Can you see why I chose to do a lav mic for this? So here we have ASA. Here we're going to use some, I'm going to move this guy. So I guess I have to check them all. This one's going to be, I'm going to fall. This is getting crazy. That's my butt, in case anyone's curious. It's going to be on the screen for a while as I load all these gates. It pulls info from the slicer for the filaments. Okay, good to know. So I don't have a way of knowing remotely what is loaded. Like if I'm accessing my printer from away from my printer, I don't have a way to know what I left in each one. Unless, like if I change the slicer, if I close the slicer. This one works beautifully. It's loading quite nicely. Good boy. Oh, I still haven't mastered the getting to the back of it. Someone may want to design like a kind of like gear, not gear, like a hinge that you kind of just like flip it over. You know what I mean? Flip it so I can see. Ugh. Does this get better? This like loading and unloading? Right now I'm not a fan at all. And it feels like I'm going to be doing the Filamentalist pretty soon. People are blowing up the chat. Yeah, there is a real knack to loading it. Yep, I see that. Like I said, I feel like I'm in high school again behind the bleachers. Trying to find something I'm not sure is there. All right, that's one. Whoa! Why are you doing that? Why is it? Oh, it's trying to load the gate while I push filament into it. Why? Like to help me? But it attacked my arm. That wasn't cool. Like I appreciate the help, but this sucks. Loading like this. I can't do this. This is crazy. Like there's no way. Even if I only do it once a month, it's quite the pain. I think we're gonna have to turn the whole thing around. Okay, that's another one. Let's take a break. MMU status will print a message in the console showing loading buffered. MMU gate map gate color color material. Okay. IRCHH can integrate with Spoolman. I need to check out this Spoolman. Everyone's been talking about it. Shorts modeling stream. Yeah, man. Check out these hairy legs. All right, let's load more filament, shall we? I'm thinking that if I get like this 3/4 shot going, one, I won't embarrass myself by showing my pants, which I'm sure my children have already gotten loaded with spots and clothes and food and all that. But two, I can kind of access both angles here. No? I used whatever Bowden tube I had because I can't find the one that came with the kit. Let's load you up. The problem is with this angle, you can't really see the holes in the wheel. And that's before we get to the ones that are far away.
Guys, this is the pits if your printer is up high. It's not bueno. It's like really not accessible. Oh my gosh. I think we're going to be doing the Filamentalist on the next live stream. No disrespect to whoever designed this thing, but I think it's probably much easier if your printer is sitting on the table in front of you.
Which mine is not. Those are some white shorts. To be fair, I'm under very bright lights. Very, very bright lights. Oh, come on. It can't be that it's always going to be this hard to load. Like, no. No, thank you. And also, the wheels just don't turn nicely. Okay, let's see. I'll check your message in a second, Justin. You see why this feels graphic? It just feels inappropriate. Like, it's not the kind of live stream I thought I'd be doing at 37 years old. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. The end profile reminds me the grave from Clo. Don't get that reference. Convincing me to put my 2.4 on the floor. Yeah, so that's like also a real thing. Oh my. Home ERCF before doing the next filament. Good idea. Unscrew the knobs at each end. Yeah, they're already very loose. Bart. Inappropriate, but also true. This is how I have mine set up. I can do the holes in the buffer wheels by feel. I also sense that you're just... Hey, Nomad. I sense that you're just supposed to keep your commonly used filament in there and not load and unload. Like, you're not actually meant to print with 12 colors. You're meant to load 12 colors, and then maybe you do a print with 2 or 3 or 4 colors. But then you don't have to constantly be loading and unloading. I said we were going to home this thing. So let's home. MMU home. That's weird. It didn't do it. Oh, there it is. Okay. But I mean, again, this is kind of nuts. I see why some people suggested I go to the Filamentalist. And also, the wheels don't move nicely. Thank you to whoever did something, subscribed. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we're gonna need to do some reprinting and reworking here. At this angle, I just can't get in there. And if it wasn't raised at this angle, then the thingamajiggers drag. Like the filament Bowden tubes drag in the back. And that wasn't fun either. My lord. I'm really thinking I should have put each of the filaments in that I actually want to use with this, because I don't think I'm going to be rushing to do this whole setup again, like of loading and unloading. I don't want this stream to get demonetized. I think I forgot to monetize it anyway. But this is about as much fun as a bag of dicks. Yeah, I'll have to sort the wheels so they move smoothly. It's sounding like I need to, 1, reprint the wheels, 2, maybe take the spacers out from what people are telling me in chats and private messages. This thing was supposed to try and load itself. It did not.
Oh my god, this sucks. I kind of hate it. Wow. So difficult. I'm still trying to load filament. What the shit? There it goes. All right. A bit of sanding the sides of the wheels helped me. Okay. Good to know. I'm going to reprint them in a proper filament. We're going to do that already right now. So let's grab some Polymaker ABS. I'm going to just put this on one of the printers real quick. All right. By the way, I suspect that part of the issue is I printed on a very textured build plate. 8 more to go, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Also, it's way easier to load the channels with the thing mounted on the printer and with the wheels that spin freely. Way, way easier. Yeah, we're already printing wheels, new wheels. I was wondering and thinking, should I scale some of the wheels so I have different sizes? Because some of them, there's gaps. You know what I'm saying? Let's open a new window. And yeah, I'm already gonna print more of those wheels. I think I have a 0.4 in there. Print the buffer wheels on a non-textured build plate if you have one. Bingo. Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Okay. ERCF? No, it's ERCT. Do we not have a file called ERCT? ERCF. Yeah, the textured build plate was not doing any favors. I can get a degree before I finish loading the filament. Exactly. I think I did not save the ERCF files to my computer. It's just taking up space on Google Drive. Would it be possible to put the wheels on some ball bearings? I don't think I need to. I think it's just the tolerances are not good. And yes, Justin, I also am not a fan of textured plates. I just wasn't thinking. Let's see. So STLs. No, we need to go to recommended options and ERCT buffer. And we need the STLs. Wait, what is 180 degree build? What does that mean? I didn't notice this before. Thank you, new subscriber. Oh yeah, this is what Mark showed me today. Forget about wheels and test without buffer. That's probably a very good idea. Yeah, we can do that. Each wheel has a ball bearing in the middle. That's right, it does. So it's just my tolerances. I just need to reprint these without, first with not shitty filament. No disrespect to the company whose filament I used, but I was saving the Polymaker for stuff I was going to see more. And that was dumb. So here we have the buffer wheel. Thanks for sharing this. I was thinking to give this a try. Not anymore. My video editor said the same thing to me. He's like, I don't know, this video comes off as you're kind of like discouraging people, making it seem like it's hard. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to discourage people, but I do want them to know, like, this is a more advanced build. This is harder than building a Voron, I think.
because the configuration's harder, because there's more moving pieces. Like, personally, I think this is harder than building a Voron. All right, how many can we fit on a build plate? The answer is 5. All right, let's print 5 of these, but not extra fine. 20 standard, smooth plate, and as with all Voron parts, 4 to 5 perimeters, 5 and 5. I already have it all memorized. 40 to 45% infill, slice. These basically just fell apart. It's very easy to build, I'll say that. Like, the build is not hard. It's more the configuration, and it's just tedious. There's a lot of moving pieces. It's not hard. Did I say it was hard? I would say more advanced or more challenging is a fair assessment. But the software and configuring and all that stuff, that's harder. Like, I don't think there's any two ways about it. You guys don't see me slicing stuff. Let me show you the slicer. Spacers were too tall. Okay. Maybe I should reprint the spacers too. I don't know if these wheels really need to be 45%. About 40. And this, by the way, is ABS. It's actually Polymaker ABS, which I don't have here, but we can do bamboo ABS. Try recycling plastic bags and filament. Plastic bags are made of low quality, like what's considered not reusable plastic. And it's nylon, which is not great to print with at the best of times. Software thing is my problem. That is true. It's just occurred to me that you guys still don't see what I'm printing. Let's go to Orca. So I'm going to print 4 of these because it doesn't really like 5. I could rig up 2 printers to print all this stuff, but honestly, 4 at a time is fine. What's that going to take? 3 hours? We can swap some of them tomorrow. I'm also thinking maybe I'll scale some of them. Can we see the slicer? This is the slicer. Let me make sure I have the right filament selected. Yep. Slice. Yeah, HDPE. You're right. It is HDPE, not nylon. But there's some term in the industry they use, like low, not low quality, but some kind of like basically unusable again once it's been turned into a plastic bag. Print plate. Like I said, I probably could get another build plate going. Should we get another build plate going? Anyway, I'm not going to install them today. Or maybe I am. I have another roll of ABS or ASA. Let's not mess around. Let's work on things that aren't the buffer. So yeah, you guys are right. I should just skip the buffer. But let's, should we calibrate gate number 4 and 3? Let's get some more filament on more rollers. And skip the gates altogether. Now, I'm wondering why when we loaded 4, it didn't actually try to load it. Oops, I'm going to need to home again. I'm also thinking I probably drilled the hole in the wrong place. Was a little short-sighted. Thank you. I never know if that's a subscriber or a new member or a donation. Oh wait, we said we're not going to use the buffer? Oh, awesome. Also, I crossed. Instead of loading the right one, I crossed over because I couldn't see what I was doing. I don't think this buffer is going to survive very long. Whoa, around here. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's trying to load. It's not loading. It's because of the servo. Thank you. All right, let's try this one. And yeah, we've got a better servo on order already. Come on, bastard. Go in there. Sometimes it doesn't auto-load. I think we're going to need to check the gates for a lot of them. Pre-gate switches, yeah. I think I am having an issue with pre-gate switches. And I just realized you don't, it won't auto-load if the selector isn't homed. Okay, that might be it. Don't like suffer in silence, guys. Let me know if you're looking at the wrong thing. Let's go back. MMU home. Oh no, that's not a good sound. We don't like that sound. What did I do? Yeah, not good. Not a nice sound. It's supposed to like pull the filament back by itself, right? Like, we're clear on that. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, that's 4. All right, now it's homed. This is a mostly 3D printed AMS. Yes. Let's load more filament, guys. I think if we don't use the buffer, we can do this pretty quickly. I have all these rollers that we can use. Just need to, again, the buffer is the part that takes a lot of time. Oh. Oh no, this one still has, by the way, I did this whole thing with the Girari auto rolling back wheels and ended up ditching them. But those are looking pretty good right now compared to the buffer built in. Just being honest. All right, let's load more. Oh, it's trying. Did it load? Did it actually trigger? No. I know what the problem is, though. It's this servo. Okay, let's home again. I think we gotta loosen things up. They're just not the same on each one. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. So we've got most of them loaded. I mean, not properly, but we've got most of them loaded. Let's move this roll of filament. In theory, in your head, you're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to have a rep rack up top. It's going to feed all this filament directly into the printer. It's just going to be so fucking cool. There goes monetization. But then in practice, it kind of doesn't work like that. At least not yet. All right, let's load more filament. Thank you to the people doing things and stuff. All right, here we go. 12 may have been a bit ambitious. I didn't get a choice in the matter, and I'm just thinking 12 is a lot. This probably should go through here. I think I'm going to need some kind of like Bowden tube or feeder so that this filament doesn't get pinched. And these rollers, as you can see, are, whoa, resistance. I need to take the springs out of them. Right, we said we're not using the buffers anymore. So let's not use the buffers. Oh, this sucks, guys. Sorry. There's kind of no two ways around it. The loading is not fun. At least not when your printer's up this high. Maybe I need to just put the ERCF on the table next to the printer and not on top. Fucking A. Because this isn't practical. Again, putting it in the Bowden tube. It doesn't need to go in there. This just doesn't seem like it's a practical long-term solution. Sorry, I'm blocking your view. This is some crazy shit. Oh my gosh. Even without loading the buffer, it's like impossible to get it up in there. Sorry, I'm being a whiny complainer. Like, I'm very fortunate that I have cool printers and cool filament to feed them with and cool kits and all your help. I shouldn't be whining. And I'm sorry. I'm also sorry that you guys are looking at my butt and the top of my head at the same time. It can't be a great view. I think this filament is just too bent and curved to properly load. I cannot load it. And that's without even trying to deal with the buffer. Fucking fuck. Come on. Okay, giving up on that one. The filament's just too bent. See if I can link it. Recorded a video about me loading a channel in about 35 seconds. 35 seconds is a good thing? My gosh. Oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into, guys? And again, I'm not even trying to use the buffer wheels right now. All right, let's try loading this one. Loading. Loading. Oh, much easier. Okay, here it goes. But the servo is not getting there. So we're gonna have to loosen. This MG90S is just not it. It's just not, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not. But I ordered the Savox and I ordered express shipping, so that's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Like I said, I already told Fizek that it would be better to just charge more. Mark. It is easier when the buffer wheels can move freely. Yeah, I'm actually, again, not using the buffers at all. I'm just trying to load without. But yeah, I don't mean to shit on anyone's work. And again, I think it would be much easier if the printer were in front of me, like under me, and I wasn't balancing on a table, like standing on the table, trying to lean over. Like, I think you need better access to your printer for this. to be practical. I wonder if there's a way to either mount this on the wall next to me. Yeah, that servo just doesn't want to get in there. I keep loosening it, and it's eventually going to be so loose that we're not going to be able to pinch filament, I don't think. Pinch it off, Junior. All right, how many more do we need? 1, 2, 3 more. I'm going to have to get to work removing all these springs so I can feed filament. 12 is an insane quantity. Am I right? Tomorrow we're going to remove all these and get these rep rack rollers rolling properly. Another battle for another day. Maybe I can just put some of them. I don't know. You know what? I feel like we have enough filament loaded right now. Let's test some of these gates and configure this servo. Do you have space on the table to set it down? No, not really. And also the wires and Bowden tube. I feel like it's going to be a case of like mounting it on the wall maybe. I don't like that solution because I really like my set the way it is. But, all right, let's try and load some filament. And we got to kind of configure this servo. I can actually make it so you guys can see the servo. See? It's up there. See right in here? This thing has to spin. So we're on gate 10, but I also put some filament in gate 11, I think. So we could just hit 11 and try. The ERCF is always 2 gates less than you end up needing. There's no way that I'm going to need 14 filaments. I just don't think it's going to happen. But let's try and load 11. Let's see what happens. MMU gate check 11. Well, the servo engaged that time, but I don't think the filament went in all the way. Hey, this method kind of works. Just like grabbing it, giving it a pokey pokey. Let's see, someone's messaging me somewhere. Well, that was 11, and it didn't work. I don't know. Oh, son of a gun. These Girari auto rewinders actually work, and it's pulling the filament back out after the ERCF tries to pull it. That's funny. That's funny. All right, cool. Okay. Yeah, exactly. The front should not be accessed once tuned. That's my thing. Like, I could turn it this way, and then I could kind of get to it, but it is, yeah, it's a little silly. I agree, Paul. Okay, cool. That is a very close shot. Let's see how it loads T11. Ready? MMU issue detected. Gate check 11. Gate check 11. Smash! What was that sound? Ah! So this is what it's like. When I say this is harder than a Voron build, this is what I'm about. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Can you guys see, or do you want me to move the camera? So let's try MMU gate check, gate 11. Oh, it now shows that 11 is lit up, so that's cool. I mean, but they're all loaded. So let's try gate 0. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys the screen. That's not the screen that I wanted to show, but while we're over there, let's see if we're having build plate adhesion issues. Wouldn't surprise me. Yep. Hang on. These build plates, the carbon fiber ones, have really questionable adhesion. Kind of saw that coming. Oh, actually it wasn't that bad. But a little Magigoo and it'll be better. Magigoo is my new obsession. They do not pay me anything, but their product is really good. Like really insanely good. All right, where are you at, Magigoo? Let's lather this build plate up. Be right back with you guys. Come on. Come out of the bottle. Oh, it is coming out. It's just drying instantly on the hot build plate. Here I am. Main camera. We take the Magigoo. We apply liberally. It goes on so thin you can't even tell if you applied it or not. Beauty. And then we will resume our print. And in 3.5 hours, we'll have wheels that actually fit. I wonder if I should print some of those wheels a little bit bigger because there are some gaps. Maybe like one a little bit bigger, one a little bit smaller. I'm talking like 0.5 millimeter here, 0.5 millimeter there. Mounted ERCF on the side of the printer and keep rolls of filament inside, running dry boxes next to the printer. Yeah, my thing is I've built this whole rep rack. I'd like to feed filament from it. You know? Seems kind of silly not to. It would make more sense if the printer were 0.5 meter lower. You know? Well, it's not what I want to do, but I actually could lower this shelf 0.5 meter and make the printer lower artificially. It's an option. I don't really want to do it. I could also move the rep rack higher. But if I move the printer lower, I'll have more access, but then I lose this workbench. I don't like that. We're going to have to figure something else out. The rep rack should have been higher. That's kind of the end conclusion. I'm not sure what part makes sense. Futfell. I've been rambling. We've got a mod for putting a passive respooler on rep rack. So then would I not need the buffer, the cottontail? Moving the rack higher does seem easier, yeah. Until you realize I'm out of that filament that I used to do the back wall. And then I still need a step stool. Armored Turtle, let me know. I mean, because I made these Girari things, right? And they kind of work, but they're not consistent enough. See? I mean, from where I'm sitting, I'd be pretty happy to get rid of this whole buffer, if I'm honest. 1.5 freedom feet, exactly. Maybe I go back to these. But see, they're not consistent. And also they add drag on the filament. Yeah, I don't print PETG. I just can't in my climate. Okay, Armor Turtle, send me what I need. I guess I'm gonna have to do something with all of these. But yeah, I think I need a better solution for feeding from the rep rack without these buffer wheels. These are crazy. No disrespect, again, to whoever made them. I'm sure it's... I don't mind running Bowden tube. I can order 50 meters of Bowden tube if I need to. By the way, shout out to this new light that I got. It's not very bright, but it's kept shining for quite some time, which I'm very pleased about. All right, let's try more gates. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get rid of the cottontail already. Let's check gate 10. Bastard! That's gate 11, dude. That's not gate 10. Get out of here with this shit. Yeah, there's a high likelihood that I'm taking off the cottontail. Sent it in Discord. Thank you. Okay, gate check 10. That is not 10, bro. That's 11. Do we need to calibrate the spaces between the gates, or do we just need to do MMU home? Let's gate check 10. Babow! Smash! Loads! Doesn't unload. Why? Servo position. If you're taking off the cottontail, stop your print. I mean, we haven't decided completely, have we? Calibrate selector. No, I think it just, I needed to home. Okay. Why is it not scrolling back? I have it fully engaged. I have a feeling that the gear is not in the correct position for this one. It's so, like, it depends on... Oh, printer just shut down. Don't know why. Did I bump something? Calibrate selector. Someone said something about, like, today in my comments. They were like, these systems depend on everything working perfectly every time. And that is true. Whereas, like, some other systems don't depend on it, like a tool changer, you know? Did you reinstall Happy Hare after upgrading to V2? Yep. I did. Are you gonna home, MMU? Okay. Let's check another gate, shall we? Let's check 6. What's the name for the auto rewinder? Girari auto rewinder. But maybe Armored Turtle has a better one. All right, why don't we try checking gate 6. Servo smash. Don't like that. I don't understand why it doesn't go back. It's supposed to go back and therefore not get stuck on itself, but it no worky. You know what I'm saying? Why does it do that? I think Mark and Justin have given up on me, which I totally respect and understand. I might be hopeless. I think they're having a team meeting of like, okay, guys, how do we recover from this idiot? Let's see what happens. Gate 6. Pop it on over. Smash. Goes forward. And then it tries to... I mean, I guess that's just a gate check sequence, but it doesn't take it back. And as a result, it gets jammed. I think everyone's given up on me. I'm about to give up on me. Check the Discord here. Oh, thank you. Okay, hang on. We're going to have issues doing the calibration. See this post for the best way I found to adjust the springy screw. Sorry, I didn't see all this. It looks like the selector... Looks like the selector isn't calibrated correctly. It's as though it thought the selector isn't... Okay, we can calibrate. Let's do that. Oh, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're replying to me. Let's see. And yes, wise duckling, I am being whiny. That is fair. Any open end stop port. I'll check this video later. But yeah, I'm totally being whiny. Ask ChatGPT to write the code. I'm typing messages in Discord. Okay, cool. Sorry, it's hard to keep. I have like 50 windows open. All right. I mean, it's smashing. It's smashing nicely, in fact. Thank you to whoever did whatever. Let's try another one. I mean, I'm kind of at a loss of like what I should be doing right now, to be honest. It's like I'm getting some people saying it's just not worth spending the time with the MG90S Servo, and other people saying I'm being whiny, which I am. Let's try loading another one. T5. And then it says it goes up. By the way, what determines the colors of the LEDs? Why are some red and some... Like, shouldn't those light up with the color filament I have? And if so, how does it know that? That's lined up properly. But then it stops. See, it's trying to load. It's smashed down. The servo is 100% smashed down. Which makes me believe either the gear is not lined up. I mean, we can try the gear wheel and check the bump it up to 6 volts. I mean, I already ordered a Savox. I don't mind. But I definitely don't want to waste my time if this isn't going to be worth it. Tweaking, you know? So, by the way, I think the reason I'm being whiny is my setup makes it really prohibitively difficult to get behind this thing. Like, I have to get up on a step stool, reach behind, which is hard with a 350mm printer, but I am being whiny. There's no doubt about it. Oh, I just discovered that this was loose. That can't have been helping our situation. Let's try again. Maybe that was the problem. The latch wasn't completely latched. Oh, you motherfucker. Get in there. Okay, that's good. It's in. So let's see if you load or not. I think it'll also help if we move this thing. This hole that I... MMU calibrate selector. It gets stuck in the PTFE tube. All right, let's try MMU calibrate selector. But by the way, I don't think that's the problem. I'm like 99% sure because it's lining up perfectly. I can show you guys. First, let's home the MMU. Okay. Poor man's frazzled. Yeah, a little bit. But, I mean, it's fine. I did go through the calibration steps. Like, I calibrated the servo. The problem is, not each one of the gates is the same. Like, I need to adjust the screw differently depending on what gate. And that's what's frustrating to me. And I think that's partly just because the servo I'm using is not super consistent. Does that make sense? Like, some of the gates seem to be a little different than others. Some of them need more smash to get over the hump. Does that make sense? Let's try number 6. Let's see what happens. See, that smashed it down. It loads the filament, but then it doesn't take the filament back. Maybe because the servo lifts up. Yep, still building. The spring and the selector head should deal with any inconsistencies. Yeah, but they're not the same on each one. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, on some of them, it needs to be tighter than on others. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like on this one, for example. There we go. On this one, maybe try the 6-volt thing. I mean, we can try. I don't have a buck converter handy, though. At least not the appropriate one. Taking sandpaper to the selector on the servo, already did that. Make the movements smoother across the layer lines. I have other ones that I printed, by the way. We could swap them. But I did do that. Check it. Just so you know I'm not whining for no reason. Here. Have a good look at this servo. Okay. There's the servo. All right. Now let's just have to loosen up all this filament. Figure out why it's not dragging over. Okay, you guys see the servo? No, you're not even on the right camera angle. Okay. Okay. Let's get it so you guys can see the servo. There's the servo. Let's change the angle so you can see it as it smashes, okay? Cool. All right. Yeah, 6-volt thing. I get that. All right, the light finally died. Check it out. Here, okay, if I do servo position down, great, right? Now it's there. Now I should be able to load. Let's see how it just, see? It just gave up. That's our problem. The servo is like giving up on some of them and on others, no. Maybe my angle is too tight or too big. But on other ones, it gets stuck. So check it out. Let's do it again, okay? Let's try to do gate 11. That wasn't good. I think I forgot to home first. So let's home. Let me check Discord. You need a better servo. Can't stress it enough. Yeah. I don't think I need to calibrate where each gate is. Home it, then do maybe gate 6 so we can see. Okay, check it out. Homing it, loading 6. Boom. Servo totally gets over the hump, engages. Now it stops. And now it's just spinning, spinning, spinning. Let me check the gears in there. Did you power servo up before installing the arm? No. Why? Last time this was happening, what's happening right now, the gears had moved because I had shifted the drive shaft accidentally. So I'm going to check that and see if that's an option. While you guys comment. Let's see what's happening. I don't know if it's relevant. Okay. By the way, super appreciate everyone's help. You guys are awesome. The 6th LED doesn't light up. Yeah. Put a bit more tension on the springy. It doesn't look like the servo is pushing down hard enough. All right, let's try. But also, I do want to check those wheels. Or the Bondtech gears. I've also had a lot of issues with the CNC'd, what's it called? The 80-tooth gear grinding against the plastic. So I've had to kind of move the shaft about. And that causes misalignment. No, that is perfectly lined up. You can see the overhead cam. LED won't light up unless it detects filament at the check gate. See? That is quite nicely lined up. So I don't understand. I mean, I can try the tension. I tried the tension. Let's try. Thank you to whoever did something. Let's try again. I'm kind of realizing like this whole idea of documenting and trying to, like, it's just really hard without someone else here reading the Discord to me, because I'm trying to monitor chat and Discord at the same time and also work on the printer. This is odd. It's like not fitting nicely because of the servo. Oh, that would explain that. There you go, little buddy. Oh, this is really hard. Okay. There it is. Get in there, little servo guy. Let's bolt you down. Beauty. All right. Shall we try again? We might not have a print today. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I never said I was skilled at any of this, besides the making of the videos. All right, should I bring you guys closer, or? I think it's probably, since we're focused on the servo, it's probably appropriate to just move this camera and have it be a servo cam. You are now servo cam. What is my purpose? What's up with that thing not fitting properly? And what? And line up with the extrusion. Which thing is not fitting? Gonna have to be a little bit more specific. There's a lot of things here. Thank you, Derek. You might. I'm starting to wonder. All right, there's the camera. Someone wanted to see servo up. I'm gonna close this chat app because it's just overwhelming me, and keep only Discord open. Did you check if the D shaft was straight before you installed it? No, I didn't check. Reinstall the drive gear, that could fix it. The ADT. I also noticed that the shaft kind of feels like it's at an angle. Linear rods with selector cart when you tried to lock it down. Oh yeah, they're definitely not straight. The linear rods with the selector cart are 100% not straight. And I suspect it's because this part is a little bit warped right here. But I kind of assumed that that wasn't going to matter. But yeah, you can see this part is warped. And I kind of assumed it didn't matter because anyway you lock it down, it's fixed on both sides, but that might be an issue. Okay, let's try doing something. What should we try? Warning, gate 6 not calibrated. I mean, we could also calibrate gate 6. MMU, check gate 6. First, I think we need to home. There, now you guys can see the positions very nicely. Now, should we check gate 6? Boom. It's got some good smash. Why does it do that? It's unclear to me why when I gate check, it does that. If the rods aren't straight, they're not going to do me any favors. So probably I need to reprint this hinge. They seem parallel, but they may not be perfectly parallel. It's like it doesn't manage to take itself back. Gate 6 is problematic. Let's leave it at that. Yeah, it's moving up. The question is, why is that enough to cause issues, and how is that fixable? Your springy is too tight, and it doesn't have enough. All right, let's try. Let's loosen. Loose. But I do think I need to reprint that hinge. MMU servo position down. Yeah, see, it bounces back. The question is that the end of the world? Or is that right? I mean, it's stuck there on the first hump. Recalibrate servo angle. I mean, we can do that if you guys want. That's up. Okay, let's try down. Yeah, the angles are going to be different for everyone. Depends on how you install the arm and stuff. I think I'm going to move down to be maybe servo angle 160. Wait, how do I do that? That's 160. 160 doesn't cut it. It needs to be 165. And then it comes back. It is over the hump, dudes. Here's up. Yeah, the servo needs to not move at all. Here's down. And then it just comes back. So you guys think I need less of an angle? It's just going to bounce back if I do that. That's 150. Hey, 150 might work. So it sounds like the servo might be being pushed too far, and that's what's causing it to relax. So there's 140. 140 holds longer. All right, let's save that. I can get the camera in closer. Let's save 140 and see if that helps. Oh, it relaxes eventually. This is really hard with this camera. It just wants to sink. Hang on. Let's tighten. We gotta tighten, guys. Tighten it up, tighten it up, tighten up. There we go. All right. There's the servo. 140 looks pretty good. All right. It stayed at 140. So it's possible that I was overhamming it. I did this before, but then I sanded things, and I think that changed. And then I did it again, to be fair, but let's see. How do I save? So we set the angle to 140, and then we do save equals 1. Okay. Let's try up. Let's try down. All right, now it's down. It bounced back, but whoa, I don't know what just happened, but something happened. I wonder if the hump isn't tall enough so the servo relaxes and slides off it too easily. Hold on, let's check Discord too. It looks like 140 degrees is better. Okay, let's try loading or moving. So MMU home. I've learned that you just need to do it every single time, pretty much. Now let's try gate 6. Smash! Haha! Yep, that fixed it. It's now loading 6 up until the filament gets stuck, which is not related to the ERCF at all. It's these Girari spoolies that I'm gonna strip down. Hey guys, we just loaded filament. The angle is correct. Now try manually turning the gear and see it. Filament is grabbed. I can't zoom in with this camera, but I can do this. Guys, we just loaded filament. Almost. Now how do I unload? Can I just click on another one and it'll unload? Like, will it? The servo just tried to relax, but it couldn't. Oh, it's unloading. No, it's doing something. What's it doing? What are you doing? It's doing something and I don't know why. So how do I unload? It should bring back the filament until Binky no longer registers it. And well, I haven't done anything. I hit T6. MMU eject, thank you. Okay, yeah, I didn't do anything. It says MMU issue detected. Move to nozzle failed. Yeah, the filament got stuck. That's not your fault. MMU eject. Yeah. How you guys like that smash? By the way, I still have the speed set at 50. Ivan had me set the speed at 50 instead of 200. MMU eject kind of doesn't work. Check the console. Unload -91 of filament successful. Warning, possible encoder malfunction, free spinning. Position up. And then let's do MMU eject. Yeah, it doesn't want to eject because it thinks it already ejected. Frustrating. Servo position down. Now let's just manually get the filament out of there. Hey, I mean, that works at least. The servo's going crazy. So I think maybe we need to remove by like 3 degrees, like someone said in the chat. But it's holding. And that is progress, if ever so slight. Now it's not. Now it's not working anymore. Is it? Yeah, now it's not. Should we try 137? First, let's unload it. Yeah, I think 140 is probably still too much. See how it's trying to wiggle? It wouldn't even attempt the eject. Dang, this is... I'm glad I cut the Bowden tube length down because this is not fun. It's doing it manually. I need to get on my stool. I remember a time before this project, and I had such a simple life, you know? Jeez Louise, go back. Takes a long time to spin. But I mean, it's engaged, so I'm happy. Like, it's still engaged, and that is significant progress. Might be easier to just pull the filament, huh? The proverbial yoink. Does anyone watch that guy on YouTube hey guys, I'm in the Florida Everglades and I found a swamp puppy. And then he like yoinks all these super dangerous animals, walks up to them and goes, yoink. I love the idea of the ERCF even started printing out the parts. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Oh, you're right, I could have done test move. Okay, should we try another gate? Let's try another gate. I want to try another gate. Home. Yeah, baby. Which gate should we try? Let's try 4. It needs an encoder so it knows how much filament is moving. For clogs and stuff. MMU gate check gate equals 4, I think is the syntax. No? I'll find it. MMU check gate. MMU check gate equals 4. Go baby go. Go baby go. Go baby go. No, no baby no. See what I mean? Like it'll work on one and then not on another. But that might just be the gate check sequence isn't pulling the filament back. You know what I'm saying? That's my suspicion at least. So let's try loading 4. If I do MMU home, by the way, I don't think I've actually set up the toolhead sensors. I definitely haven't set up filament cutting yet. I just realized you guys are just looking at 2 pictures of the same thing, which is probably not super fun. So like, I don't know what we should do next. Yeah, I don't know which thing you're talking about, Itai, but I have the rollers in the back. Those don't really work very well. And then I have the buffer, which also currently is not working very well for me. Okay, let's do MMU home. Always good to home. And then let's try and, I mean, 4 still thinks it's not loaded. Maybe it isn't, I don't know. No, I see that 4 is loaded. And yet when I do the gate check thing, I don't know, let's do 1. I'm spoiled for choice. You see what I mean? How the servo needs different angles for different ones? It's a lot of, what, really? There's flex? That's not good. Let's see what you mean. There's flex on the linear bearing rail as you index. Yeah, I think we've determined I need to reprint some parts. There's no flex here. Maybe it's the lighting? Gate 1 is empty. No, it's not. So let's check gate 1. But then you see how, guys, how I said each one of the gates seems to need a different servo springy position? Watch this. What the hell? Nothing. I suspect that I need to reprint this hinge because it's not perfectly straight, and therefore the heights are different at different points on the linear rail. Oh, the whole assembly moved as the servo tried to push down. I see what you're saying. I think I need to reprint this hinge. That's one of the worst parts. on this whole thing, and I think that that's the cause of many of my problems. What happens if I try to load 10? See that one also. And that's right next to 11, which we just calibrated. This is bullshit. You guys see what I'm saying? Let me check Discord. If it needs a different, let's see, that's looking better. Better servo will help. If it needs a different springy tension per gate, that would indicate a mechanical issue. All right, let's reprint this hinge. Yeah, it doesn't help that they were printed on different printers with different profiles. Someone wants to see the position. Come on, dude. Yeah, better servo will help. No doubt about it. No doubt in my mind that a better servo will help. Also, I think I just need to reprint this hinge because it's too crucial of a part that if it's off by 1 millimeter. So I'm going to do that. I could probably have that done in a minute and we could build it now. But like each one needs different servo position. And that's not right. It's just not right. Gate check 2. 2 is fine. And yet, it's not fine. All right, we're going to reprint some shit. Anyone else have any other ideas? Let me know. But we're going to start reprinting more stuff. Is the whole unit twisted with the way it's sitting on top of the printer? Yeah, kinda. So I think part of the issue, guys, and tell me what you think, but I think it all stems from this hinge. Let me show you what I mean. Like, as I was building it, I kind of knew that this wasn't up to snuff, but I wanted to try and get things done on the live stream. This hinge looks great, right? But then if you look, let me tighten the camera for you guys and get the filament out. Okay, check this out. I mean, you can see how warped this is. I don't know what happened. You can see that the screws needed to be 2 totally different lengths for this thing, which is crazy. And if I unclasp this, if I'm able to unclasp this without breaking something, should not be this hard. Come on. You see how it doesn't sit straight? I mean, part of that is gravity, for sure. Oh no, iPhone is running out of battery. Part of that is gravity, but it's that way. I mean, it's angled. So I think if we reprint this hinge all around, everything's going to be better. It can't hurt. It can only help. Oh yeah. Ugh. I would reprint everything related to that servo. The servo and the rods. I don't think we need to reprint the stuff related to the servo, to be honest. I think we need to reprint that hinge. And I think we should probably plug in the camera and charge it while we're doing that. Imagine if the rods were straight, but the entire frame was warped. Add a 3rd rod. I'm not modifying this design. And I gotta say, I'm actually getting cold. My fan idea worked better than anticipated for moving the air around. Let's go load up the bamboo. another bamboo, because we already have the wheels, the buffer wheels printing. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Should I continue trying the cottontail, or given my setup, you know, with the printer being so high up and so tall, should I just admit defeat and find another solution for buffering the filament? Now we need to get that Polymaker ASA. Roll the rods on a flat surface. This will rule out bent rods. There's no way those rods are bent. No way. Just no way. It's this part. This part is warped right here. Sorry, all you see is my butt. Get out of here. Thank you, Polymaker, for sending me enough filament that I can afford to reprint things 10 times. Can you reposition that thing besides the printer? Yeah, you can position it any way you want. So, as I said, to put it up in the chat, let me know what you guys think I should do in terms of mounting it or also buffering. It sounds like Armored Turtle has a good solution for buffering. Oh, it's nice and warm in here. I need to turn off the AC. Whenever I go into another room, like in the print farm, and I go, ooh, it's nice in here, that's a sign that the AC is too damn high. All right. I don't know if we need to coat with some Magigoo, because we do not want warping this time. No warping. We're going to print this on an X1 carbon, not a poorly calibrated printer. Do you guys hear me well when I'm all the way across with the lav mic? All right. Super chat. Wow, thank you. Yeah, I like to bend rods. That is, it is known. Thank you for the super chat. Vash Baldius now takes the top of the leaderboard. And we're 2 hours in, so I should probably take this opportunity to once again thank my friends over at PCBWay, and I will pull up their website. And I will say that this is actually a really, really good time to thank PCBWay, because imagine if my rods are bent, or imagine if I just can't get that part to print perfectly without warping, or imagine if I say, hey, you know what? I want to change some of these parts out for machined aluminum. Or I come up with a mounting solution that hangs it off the edge, but plastic is just not going to be strong enough for the weight of the 12 units. So I design something and I want to have it 3D printed out of aluminum or CNC machined. Well, PCBWay has you covered, and I just realized I'm not even showing their website this entire time. So I need to do that. PCBWay is your one-stop shop, guys. I genuinely use them for most of my projects if I can't make the things here. Like on the shredder project, they machined a bunch of parts for me that you guys haven't seen yet because I'm still waiting on other parts. PCBWay is awesome. I really love their service. I really love the quality of their products. And they're really, really good about emailing you and being like, hey, this actually can't be made the way that you think it can. Can we advise you? Check them out using the link in the description. And thank you, PCBWay, for agreeing to sponsor these streams so I can do more of them, because I think that these will benefit the community. Let's now, CJ makes a lot of sense. Anything related to that specific moving part should be printing at the same time with the same profile. Yeah, to be honest, the parts that are not good were most likely printed on this big-ass Voron, which is a huge area. It was on a Fadus Rapido that I did not calibrate perfectly. Like, I know why the parts were warped, is what I'm saying. Big area. Have I installed Cripper Screen add-on? No, but that's what we're going to do while we wait for the parts to print, because we need to do it anyway. Let me really quickly get a print set up here. And then we'll go from there. So here's a screen share. And here is, how do I show you guys that? Orca slicer, and let's do new, no, transfer those settings. We're gonna print on an X1 carbon, which I actually don't know what size nozzle it's running right now. I'm pretty sure it's a 0.6. Schmeckles, that's awesome. Schmeckel is a Yiddish word, bed size 350 by 350. Schmeckel is a Yiddish word for the male genitalia. I feel like every time I do a live stream, I should give people a Yiddish word of the day, because on the other one we talked about schmuck, schlemiel, schlemazel. Let me know in the chat if you guys like learning new Yiddish words. I don't speak Yiddish, yeah, but I would learn the words too. All right, we need to get the right parts. I probably shouldn't have deleted all this stuff from my computer. I was so arrogant. I was like, it's built. I don't need all the STLs on my computer. He needs to figure out why, even though Python has been upgraded. That is correct, Mark. Gearbox, not gearbox, linear axis. Where is the hinge? Drag chain, anchor bottom, motor lock. I don't think it's linear axis. Selector, no. Gearbox, no. Is it gearbox? 82 wheel, bearing spacer. See, I would call it hinge, but I think it's probably motor arm for the NEMA 14. Nope. What is this part called? Side latch? No, it's not an accent part. Motor arm NEMA 17. It's not the arm, it's the hinge. Something's happening on Discord. Put filamentalists on your spool rack. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot happening. Gearbox, 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 Voron logo plate, gearbox front, gearbox back. I don't think that's the one. What are these damn parts called? Linear axis folder. Yeah, it was in there. Oh. Linear axis selector motor support. Thank you. I swear to God, guys, I'm not this dumb when I'm not distracted. Like, the other day, I was really frustrated. I was struggling with something. I don't remember what it was after live streaming. And then I just stopped streaming and figured it out in like 5 minutes. Or the other day, I was on with Ivan on chat. And I just instead of having to live stream and talk and entertain the entire time, I could just think. And I got so much stuff fixed. People must think I am quite dumb. Yeah, extrusion width recommended forced 0.4 millimeter. I know. I know. I know. Do I really want to do that? I could print it on another printer. I don't really want to change the nozzle on my X1 carbon. So I'm not gonna. I don't think it's gonna matter, guys. I could print it on another Voron, which has a 0.4 millimeter nozzle, but it's not gonna be pretty. I feel like if I just turn on Arachne here, honestly, I don't think it's gonna matter. I just gotta be honest. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think it's gonna be directionally extraordinarily accurate. again, printing on an X1 carbon with Polymaker filament. Let's make this a little bit lighter so we can actually see what's happening. In fact, why don't we just go to line type? Ugh, no supports. Don't use Arachne, it messes with line widths. Okay. Don't use Arachne. But I am printing it on a 0.6. I think it's going to be fine. Giggity. I'm not sure what the giggity was, but I'll take it. Looks good to me. 1 hour. I won't be streaming in 1 hour, but we'll have it tomorrow. You don't want to print on the P1S. You see, this is why I like that Revo hot end on my bamboo printers, because if it were just a Revo, I would switch it. Yeah, I agree. If everything lines up, what does it really matter? I'm pretty sure I just loaded it into this slot. By the way, just want to put it out there. Another reason I think the part's warped is I printed that, I'm pretty sure, in the same very inferior ASA as I printed the wheels that are falling apart. And I'm not going to say which company that filament is from, but I will say it is from a printer company, not a filament company. And I think that made a difference, because the orange parts were also printed on my Voron 2.4, but in Polymaker Polylite ASA. And although they're not perfect, I would never claim that any of my printed parts are perfect. They're pretty damn good. And it just goes kind of to show you, like, unfortunately, when you buy filament from a printer company, you kind of don't know what you're getting, because they can switch suppliers. I mean, they're not making their own filament, right? So you don't know what you're getting, and that's why you kind of have to test. By the way, oh, I may have a 0.4 on the X1 carbon. Let me go check. 1 sec. I have these cool little nozzle Selector gear wheels that I put on each printer, so I don't actually have to look. No, this is running a 0.6. It is running a 0.6. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can print 0.4 with a 0.6 anyway. Hey, you guys didn't tell me in chat. What do you think? Should I continue with the cottontail, or should I ditch it and find another solution? And yeah, you could use this on a what's it called? Exception is Prusa. Yeah, that is 100% fair. Prusa, your nozzle diameter is not right. Nonsense. Did I just not update the printer that it's running a 0.6 nozzle? Can I do that from here without? Yeah, Prusa obviously makes killer filament, because they actually make their own filament. My thing was, what I was talking about is companies that don't make their own filament, like printer companies, and the filament that they sell. Sometimes it's great. I like Sovol's PLA. But sometimes it's absolute garbage. Since you already printed it, might as well give it a go. I'm curious what the line width is supposed to change, though. It's just how exactly perfect it will be. I printed all my Voron parts with a mix, and as long as your printer's well tuned, you should be able to get away with it. As you can tell, some of my printers are not well tuned, though. Okay, why don't we work on the next thing, which is the system doesn't meet the minimum requirement. Minimum, Python 3.8. System, Python 3.7. I will comment that in chat since I'm sitting down. Put filamentalists on your spool rack. I think I might have to. There's so much activity in this chat. I can't keep up with all of it. The system doesn't meet the minimum requirement. Happy Hare clipper screen. I'm trying to do my best to make sure this is documented for posterity. Damn, I'm getting hungry. If you guys have questions, now is a good time to ask them because we're in kind of a lull in the stream. By the way, this entire time I have not even checked. Holy crap, there's 170 people watching. That blows my mind. Way, way more than we're watching before. Also, I had a plug for Patreon. That's a new perk of our Patreon, is people really liked the long-term review thing that I did. So I made a spreadsheet with all the updated info of all the printers that I've tried and my current opinion, so I don't have to redo the video every month. But also, Jacques asked that I do other stuff, like what's my current opinion of the ERCF, what's my current opinion of different filament. So I give you like the lowdown and skinny of every filament I've ever tried, which is like 60 different brands, and like which ones were good and which ones were not. Come for the shorts, stay for the chat. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Vash. No kebab for you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the super chats, guys. Super awesome of you guys. We don't get questions, just here to see you suffer with this thing. Yeah, that's fair. Have I returned home yet? I've been back in Israel for quite some time, if that's what you're asking. New here, already a fan. Thank you. You should see the content that's actually produced and like edited. I think it's better. So I've got a little bit of doing all filament series. I am actually. I'm gonna get a like granola bar or something because my stomach's starting to hurt. But I think we should try and solve this Python thing. That's my next thing. I'm also wondering if you guys are gonna hear awful noises when I eat. Because if so, I'll move the microphone. What do we got here? What do we got? We got a protein bar. That's probably good. I think I should move the microphone though. Nobody wants to hear chewing. All right. What's the ETA on the parts of the recycler? Probably another 2 to 3 weeks. All right. Wouldn't this be printed faster on a Voron? I mean, this Voron's not working. That bamboo is perennially clogged. Why? Why is it always clogged? I've changed the nozzle. I've done so many things. Yeah, I love Zach Friedman's filament series. Let's go try and unclog this bamboo. No matter what I do, it clogs. This printer is the ultimate problem child. I just replaced the tool head on this X1 carbon. I replaced so many things. AMS motors, AMS board. It just never stops with this one. My other one at home, perfect. Angel. This one, total disaster all the time. Unload. Come on. Doesn't want to unload. Why do you hate me? Hang on, guys. The problem child printer, once again. Like, oh, you know what? We could just print on the K1C. I don't have energy to deal with this bamboo printer right now. Sorry, Bamboo Lab. My P1S is great. My other X1 carbon is great. This X1 never stops giving me trouble. Clogging itself. K1, it's your time. Unloading manually. It's your time to shine, Mr. K1. K1C. Alright. This one. Half my printers aren't running right now, so that's makes it a little bit more challenging to print stuff. Just loading up filament, guys, and then I'll be right back. Come on, dude. Heating up. Taking the opportunity to chow on my protein bar off camera. Loading. Shooting. Put down some poly whatever. Magical. And let's go see how angry are people in the chat that I'm reprinting parts that were printed on a Voron on a Creality machine. All right. Oh man, the iPhone's draining faster than it's charging. Disconnect. All right. Why aren't you charging? Yeah, I think that doesn't speak very highly to how much attention I give my Voron. That I'm reprinting parts. Just get a Goodwill toaster oven to dry out my beads. Yeah, I do the same thing. But you know, microwave works way faster. Yep, microwavable bowl. I'm glad you guys kept yourselves entertained. Some of you will be happy to know that although I'm about to print this part on a Creality machine and not on a Voron or a Bamboo or whatever, oh, did I lose my profile? That at least now, we're printing it on a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. I guess we could try Creality generic ASA, but I don't really trust that. I'd rather use my own profile. And we need smooth PEI plate, 90 degrees. We can go faster than 13. We could go 20. 0.95, that seems right. 260, that's great. Pressure advance. They don't even run pressure advance on this profile. Yeah, the prices here of printers are 2x. I haven't bought a printer in a very long time, to be honest with you. The last one I bought was my Prusa. It's part of the reason I started a YouTube channel, is buying printers here is just too expensive. I'm kidding. But, okay. The K1C will print this in 1 hour and 21 minutes, and it will come out perfect. All right. Lost you guys. Not sure what happened. Are we on the same link? Or did it create a new live? It shows me 157 people. I'm not sure what happened. I think the internet cut out. Let's see what we're going to do about the Python thing. All right. We're back. Pressure advance is kind of less relevant on ABS and ASA because they flow really, really well. That's why they're used in injection molding. Cool. Very cool. Awesome. Let's see how the K1C is doing. Sounds like we're not going to fix this Python thing tonight, but we can fix other stuff. God knows there's plenty to fix. For example, the filament cutter. We could get that configured. Yeah, I love my X1C, the one that works. The one that doesn't work, less awesome. Let's see. interesting. Everything just stopped. Something's weird with the internet. All right, well, let me know if you guys have other ideas for what we can fix. At least this printer works now, which is not was not that way when I published the last video. I finally got CAN bus up and running. I can bypass the ERCF and life is good. Your stream is fine now. Awesome. Just monitor the K1C. Okay, get some nice prints here. The K1C really turns out quite beautiful prints. It's not, I don't think it's quite as good as the X1 carbon, but like I can see a little bit of Z banding, but for our purposes, it's going to be fine. Why don't we do this filament cutter? And I also printed out some other parts that I want to swap onto the Voron. Including a new back cover. Do I have printers with beacon installed? I don't. I tried to put Eddie on a couple printers and didn't get along with it. It was honestly kind of a hassle because it's not fully supported in normal Clipper yet. Wow. 2.4 tool changer, 6 heads. It might be less of a headache, yes. I'm building a 7-head, or I will be building a 7-head Servo SV08. And I think that might be less of a headache. Tool changers are expensive, but I think, I don't have any experience with them, but I have a feeling that once you get them up and running, they're running. So I got some parts that I do need to install on this printer. Why isn't the K1C printing? Ah, it's still heating up. Come on over, guys, and we'll upgrade this Voron a little bit more. First, let's see if this is even going to close. Oh, yeah. So basically, I did the CAN bus upgrade. Oh, wait, you guys need to be able to see what's happening. Main camera. So I did the CAN bus upgrade. And this door is too short. Also, I think we need a ball head. Start with one head. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've kind of realized is one head, get it printing, continue. Is this going to be the right size hex key? Doesn't matter because it's not a ball head. We need a ball head. So what is this good for? This is good for scrap metal. All right. Ball head. Too small. We need to find a ball head. Welcome, Build It Basement. We're currently looking for a ball head Allen key. I know I have some in the other room, so I'm just gonna go get one. Unless this is it. No, too big. All right, let's go get it. While we're in here, we can check up on the K1C. Still leveling. Okay. Cool. Ball head. Gets the job done, except actually not. I can't stand PETG. I'm not a fan. Crud. I really don't want to have to take this whole tool head apart just to put the back door on. I was hoping the ball head was going to let us do this, but it's not looking good. Unless I have the wrong size, but I'm pretty sure I don't. Speed PETG. I would try that out, but the thing is, in my climate, PETG is just kind of a non-starter. As patient as I am with what, Ivan? When you make as many mistakes as I do, you gotta learn patience, I guess. Thank you, Drew Larson. Maybe this just isn't the right one. Yeah, PETG is horrible in Israel. It's like unusable. Too humid. Oh, come on. Just come out. I really don't want to take apart the entire tool head just to do this. It's ridiculous. A week is very generous. I've had PETG fresh out of the bag, and in like a 3-4 hour print, by the end of the print, it's stringing. Son of a gun. All this. Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. It's been super frustrating, but I kind of, you know, like I put myself into these situations. I have nobody to blame. But I'll take the compliment. It just really goes to show, like, I don't think this is for everybody. I don't think it's meant to be for everybody. You know? It's one of those, like, building a hot rod's not for everybody. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to get annoyed that I can't get this thing out, and I really didn't want to take apart the entire thing. Yeah. It's good to have at least one printer available to print things. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Those are awesome. They help fund better equipment. All right, so I redesigned this door. I extended it. Look at that chunky boy. Chunky, chunky. It's going to cover all the way in the back so the wires don't dangle, because I'm stressed about the wires getting stuck on the cable chains. Wow, I can hear the whining of the K1C. It is hamming it. It's like, you know how parents know the sound of each one of their children's cries? I know the sound of each one of my printers, and that thing is hamming it. Look at this. Let me show you guys. Just boom. It's moving so fast the camera freezes. Freaking flying. That froze. but I can just hear it. All right. I have a new plan for getting this thing off. It ain't pretty. But I mean, you guys know me. You know how I operate. You knew what this was when you got here. I hope it's not too annoying to look at the side of my head. There's no way I'm fitting a camera in that corner. Get out of there. All right. Cool. You want to do things the hard way? Let's do things the hard way. Want to play? Let's play. There's a saying in Hebrew, what doesn't go by force goes by more force. I find myself telling people that all day, every day. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. Let's get in there. Show you guys what's happening. Is the trouble of building this worth the time? So I'm a big like time is money guy. And honestly, like I feel bad because so many people have worked so hard on this project and it is awesome. But I do think, I mean, like you can buy an A1 with an AMS for like 400 bucks. I don't think you do this because it makes sense. I think you do it because you love it and you enjoy the challenge. If all you want is just an awesome multicolor printer, I don't think this is the best way to do it. If you want to add multicolor to your Voron, though, it's kind of the only way. I mean, there's TradRack and there's some other solutions out there. But I'm literally cutting the old door off because the screw wasn't going. I don't think, this isn't about, yeah. The AMS does not just work, by the way, to whoever said that. Like, I have a fair share of issues with the AMS, loading and unloading woes, but it works quite well for what it is. Dude, seriously? Still not coming off? How am I going to get the new one on is the other question. We also need to swap the filament cutter. Can you use Nighthawk with ERCF? Yes, I believe so. I don't know if it has the extra end stops. They're sending me over a Nighthawk stealth burner and a Nighthawk 36, and we're going to test and see how things go. But it took me so long to get this thing running on CAN bus that I don't think I want to mess with it and change the Toolhead board again, to be honest. Yeah, you definitely don't build it to save money or necessarily get the best, most reliable system. I think you definitely build it for the fun of it, and I love that Mark put that in quotes. The fun, quote, fun of it. I've tried the diamond nozzle, but I haven't tried the one with 3 extruders. I haven't heard of that one. Dude, this thing's not coming out. Just arrived. Welcome. We've kind of given up on testing the ERCF, and now we're working on swapping parts on the Voron while things print. Because we've decided that we have some mechanical issues with my ERCF, which is not surprising. So I'm now realizing, anyway, I'm just going to have to take the front cover of the stealth burner off. Because this ain't working. I don't want to. But if we want to put the cover on, once ERCF is all calibrated and configured, it's very reliable. I guess that's fair. I think a big part of that, Mark, is you are like the head of the anti-MG90S advocacy group. I don't think it's going to be as reliable with this dinky little servo on there. I can just see, like, it needs to be perfect. You know? As a system, yeah, I think. I mean, someone even told me, I won't say who, but someone even told me, they're like, yeah, it shouldn't be in the bomb. I also won't use the word that they used because it would give away who it is. But they flat out said, I don't know why it's in the bomb. Saving money is great, but not if it doesn't work. I don't hate the MG90S per se, just the wrong servo for this application. Exactly. That's pretty much what they said as well. Oh my god, this takes so long with these crappy. Would have been much faster to just do this from the get-go. Let's put the new door on. Sorry, I'm going to try and make it so you guys can see what I'm doing. We are now installing the new door, which hopefully is going to hide our shame. I'll tell you what, though. We need to put the RGB on as well. Dinky Servo TM. We need to put the RGB on, and while we're doing it, we need to glue it because that connector is not the right one, and I'm not swapping it. Let's see, MKS-THR36. I ended up swapping to an MKS board. I couldn't get the BTT one working properly. RGB, ground goes on top. Which means that if I plug this in like this, we should instantly get ergobled. We do not. Why do we not? That's odd. I am still running clicky. I tried to swap it to Eddie, not the beacon, but Eddie. I couldn't get it working. Why is the NeoPixel not working? Let's try turning on the lights. Wish the better servo wasn't quite so pricey. Yeah, I bought the Savox one for 35 bucks. Let's just test these stealth burner LEDs. Oh my gosh, it's almost 9:30. I'm gonna leave soon. Wow. Let's see. Stealth burner LEDs are off. That explains why they're not working. Now they work. All right, now we've got some silicone glue specifically for electronic connections, which should hold everything in place. I think this is the one. This is the one. Looks like we got a little bit left. I can zoom you guys out and you can actually see stuff. This is a tube. Ah, it's all dried up. 35 bucks is dirt cheap for a servo. Okay, fair. But when the whole ERCF kit costs 150 bucks, that's significant, you know? All right, I just oozed this shit everywhere, but this is going to be the end. This, if anyone is curious, is specifically the kind of white goopy silicone that they put on electrical connections, like from the factory. I'm just gluing this LED on because it keeps getting detached, and I don't want to recrimp the connectors. I just don't. So I'm gluing it to the board. Judge me. I don't care. I don't really need the 3D touch port, so I'm gluing it over. And this will be easy enough to peel away if I need to peel it away later. The hope is that I won't have to mess with these cables again, so. All right. Cool. Cool. Let's test out my new design for the door. Can you guys see what's happening? No, that extrusion just keeps getting in the way. Yeah, I sense that, Mark, that it just would make a lot more sense to just start with the Savox. But you know, they want to, it's like the kit manufacturers want to show that it's approachable and that it's affordable, which I get. It's kind of kicking the can, though. Oh, shit. What just came out? Oh, shit. What? There's a loose cable here. And I don't know where it's from. Are you freaking kidding me? What are you from? Okay, I've identified loose cable. It's always something. It never ends, huh? I just got done saying I don't want to do any crimping tonight. And I'm going to need to do some crimping. Motherfucker. Mother effer. Hey, first name, last name. I now have silicone glue all over me. Predictable. Par for the course. Just want to keep this RGB in place. You know? That's all I really wanted. Now it's looking like that's not going to work either. All right. We need to recrimp this, which means we need to depin it. What board are you installing running? This is an MKS THR36 that I had kicking around. It was provided to me by Filament, which is a local reseller of 3D printed parts. And it came in handy. All right. Let's crimp on a new connector. I'm going to head home and go to bed pretty soon, guys. I'm not going to lie. I've been up since 5. I do hope that there was some educational value to today's stream. I'm not sure, to be honest. I feel like I failed in my mission of documenting troubleshooting and just got bogged down with stupid shit that's been covered a million times, like calibrating the servo. But you can't win them all, right? This is my biggest fear, crimping things on camera. I don't want you guys to know how secretly terrible I am at crimping. Here's a hint. If you've seen me solder, oh, I'm even worse at crimping. It's bad. It's bad, guys. It's bad. It's like so bad. My crimping situation is unacceptable. Thank you for the new subscriptions. You found an Etsy store selling the 3D printed parts. That's kind of cool. I think that goes against the kind of spirit of printed forward, but I admire an enterprising entrepreneur. And yeah, it's a whole project, man. It's like a big project. Then again, like the mechanical build of the Vorons takes 40 hours. The mechanical build of this took less. It wasn't hard, like I said. The hard part here is the software and the calibration and the tuning, from what I can see, where I am at this point in the journey. First time seeing the ERCF. Yeah, definitely visit Mark over in the Discord. He's been so helpful, as have so many other people. They've been really great. That's not going to be a good crimp. I just knew it wasn't. I hate crimping. I hate it so much. If I never had to crimp another thing again, it would make me so happy. It's probably time to quit soon, guys. We've reached the point where I am a little less jovial than I was 3 hours ago. And nobody wants to see me get grumpy. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know what your fetish is. Here we go. And crimp. Oh, that was a good one. Now, because I'm not a skilled crimper, we're going to go back over it. If I had a closed-in printer, I would have printed them myself. Hearts right back at you, Mark. You're awesome. Oh. Let's get all this silicone out of here. Maybe we can use some of it. We can. Just stick to the board. Ergobled. It's not going to matter that much because once I close it, the cables are all going to be pinched in there. But cost to build. Well, you're looking at about 30 to 40 bucks worth of filament. The kit is going to cost you $156. You can use my link in the description. And then you're going to probably want to repurchase a better servo for $35. So you're looking at a little over $200 and a whole lot of time. Now, where did this bad boy come from? Probably here. But if we don't get it right, we're not going to have a fan. And I don't even know which fan it was. I just know that one of them got all loosey-goosey on us. Loosey-goosey. Just like the ergobled is right now. Part of the issue is the thermistor cable is under the ergobled. And there's no room for it to be anywhere else. It's all a hot mess, is what I'm trying to say, guys. It's a big, hot mess. Still much cheaper than any other multi-material system. I'm pretty sure the AMS Lite is like 150 bucks now, guys. Again, I don't think you do it for the cost savings. You do it because you love the game, as the young people say. Right now, I'm not loving the game very much. But tomorrow, I'll have a fresh pot of coffee, and I'll love the game again. All right, let's see if this works. This little door that I designed or modified. why you no fit, why you do like this. You guys can't see. Yeah, you can. Scoop up all these wires. Scoopy, scoopy. I want all this out of harm's way. I think the answer to that is probably going to be zip tying all of it up to the standoff. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I have these rails which have this lattice, and it's going to get caught on cables, and that's not going to be pretty if that happens. So we're going to take it like a ponytail made of dreadlocks. You know, like Rastaman ponytails. And we're just going to zip tie it all up to a standoff. Because what is a standoff for if not a Rastaman ponytail? That's what I was always taught. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Am I making sense anymore? Yeah, the 8 version is much easier to build. The 12 was a lot, and it is very unwieldy, if I'm honest. I didn't have a choice in the matter. I would have probably chosen the 12. Oh no, my computer is locking me out because it's past my bedtime. Let's see, it's probably kicked me off. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you guys still hear me. Screen time limits. This might work. Might. Also might not. I still hear someone in the live chat. I'm trying to override the screen time limits. I'm not sure what's happening generally. Okay, I think this door is a good solution for now. Let's try to force it on there. Oh, you guys are back. Okay. That's the one. Let's get this thing going. I'll just get my head in the printer. See, this is why I like big printers. You can just stick your head right in there if you need to. So easy. Okay. Cable door on. Twisty, twisty. Let's use a proper driver. Oh, yeah. That's tight as hell. And it's pinching all the wires. But it is what it is. To everything turn, turn. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. There we go. There we go. It fits. If it fits, it sits. There. Now it's hiding all my cables, and therein hiding all my shame. Have a look at that. You see that? It's not the nicest print. I acknowledge that. But it's gonna work. Now we just need to force the thermistor to kind of go back into place. The wires are so tight because I was too lazy to extend them. I don't know why that just turned on, but the lights are now freaking out. Oh, I know why. And it makes me wonder if Home Assistant has been turning on my lights while I'm not at the office. I'm afraid that the answer is probably yes. Okay, guys, we have a cable door. Again, not the nicest print. I have some ghosting. You're crossing the line between sleep deprivation and just appearing high. Yeah, I really need to go home. I need to go home, guys. I have a family that I should probably attend to. It hides at least one side. All right. Let's call it quits. I think this is enough for one day. 4 hours or so. Tomorrow I can work on this cutter, replace the cutter with some other cutter. This opens, it closes, beautiful. Yeah, this cutter needs to be replaced. All right, dudes. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for those of you who joined as members. That was awesome. And those of you who left tips. And thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring the video, Polymaker for sending all the filament, Physec for sending the kit, and thanks to Mark Norris for helping, and Ivan Trail and Justin, and all the other wonderful ERCF people. And now it is time to go home, and I don't know if I'm going to live stream tomorrow. I need to make a video for next week. So yeah, peace and love, friends. Bye now.